Good morning, guys. It is Friday, March 3rd, 2023. This is Bathrobe Business. I'm George Yoganov. Let's get into the news. So I'm actually bringing you guys breaking news today. So Amazon has paused construction of its second headquarters in Virginia. This is the controversial second headquarters because it was originally supposed to be in New York. There was a whole political controversy. AOC was involved. That got scrapped, and the project was moved to Virginia. Right now, the only breaking news is that the construction was paused. We actually don't know why. This could be a super minor issue. It could be something as simple as a permit didn't get filed on time. It could be that a truck of concrete didn't arrive on time. So we don't know. I've Googled. So far, this is considered breaking news, so there's really no information on it. But, just felt I needed to report it to you. Overall, the market is doing fairly well. So currently the market is up. So the Dow is up about 43 points. Nasdaq is up. S&P is up, all by minor points. Yesterday it finished very well, very strong because bond markets are up. Bond yields are good. So because of that, there was a little bit more bolstering. The economy is actually doing much stronger than it is, which is what I believe it is. And because of that, the market closed up. One that is a little concerning for me is, as always, gold. Gold has started to tick back up. When gold started falling from a few weeks ago, it looked like it was going to be touching 1700 is what I thought. It is not. So it is still right now at 1840 or so right now. It was at 1855 early this morning when I first opened the page. My concern, as always, is I don't buy gold. I never tell anyone to buy gold. I don't own any gold. I just think gold is a very strong indicator of what the market is doing. And the fact that it's ticking up is a little concerning. Now, this is still minor ticks. This is no big rocket launches to the moon. But it is a little concerning because when the fall started happening, I thought it would continue to happen. And it's not. But more of an inconvenience than, I think, an actual worry at this point. Overall, kind of a slow day. Cryptocurrencies are down from Bitcoin, Ethereum, all of them, because Silvergate, which is a large crypto bank, is being questioned on its liquidity. So because of that, Coinbase and others are pulling their funds out of that bank. And because of that, the overall market is down. I'm not a crypto guy, so I have no real input on that. I'm not a huge supporter of crypto. I don't really like it. I know I get a lot of flack for that. I honestly don't see the utility. I don't see the purpose, and I don't see it being the big development that everyone wants it to be. I believe in blockchain. I think blockchain is fantastic. I think that does have a very bright future ahead of it. I don't think Bitcoin is all that great. Honestly, if I was to purchase a crypto, I would probably purchase Ethereum for the blockchain. It's more efficient than Bitcoin. It's a lot less energy intensive. You can have smart contracts, NFTs, that's all on Ethereum and Sedona and others. The biggest story I want to talk about is the fun one. Fun, I guess, if you're not China. So Foxconn, which is the large manufacturer for all Apple products. So the iPhones, iPads, I believe the Macs are also produced there as well. I know their mobiles are, but I believe that the traditional PCs are as well. So Foxconn is going to build a factory in India. This has been signaled for a while. They were talking about this early last year that Apple wants to separate ties with China. I wonder why. I honestly wonder why, because there's a lot of obviously talk of, oh, we need to separate from China, America first, etc. I'm not against that. I just don't understand why this Apple would look at doing that when the plants are already built. I'm wondering if they are getting pressure from the federal government. I wouldn't be surprised if they are. I have heard murmurs and rumors, this is where it gets political, that the Biden administration is actually very populist. It's almost like Donald Trump's administration, the Trump administration, which was very America first. Biden has very much doubled down on that, just a little bit more litigiously. So a little less bully pulpit and a little bit more contracts. So I wouldn't be surprised with iPhone being as large as they are that they are getting pressure from the Trade Commission, the Biden administration, to lower their relationships and decrease their relationships with China. I don't think something like this just happens on its own. It just doesn't make sense for it, especially when there's no major news stories of anything going wrong in China. It's not easy to build a facility and move it. It's incredibly expensive. We moved our laboratory a year and a half ago, not even a full year and a half ago. It took a solid year of construction, and then we moved everything over a year and a half ago, and it was a mess for 6 months, despite the fact that we built the whole building to our own specs. It's not easy to do. It's incredibly expensive. It's interruptions in workflow. So why they are doing this is unclear. I am being a little conspiratorial and thinking that there's federal issues involved here. I think that's got to be the primary motivator because there's no clear reason of why they would do this. But to develop on this further, Foxconn will build a new 300-acre facility in India as part of an ongoing effort to pivot away from China. It will be one of the largest investments by Foxconn in India. The $700 million project, which is actually pretty good for a 300-acre property. I mean, that's kind of amazing. And I guess, yes, you could make the argument that India is cheap, but moves are not. And India isn't that cheap, in all honesty. That's the major story that I kind of wanted to cover. Other than that, there's not too much going on in the market that I thought was worth mentioning. I'm going into work late just because it's Friday, so I'm going in at 9 rather than 7:30 like I usually do. Actually, here's more development on the Amazon story. So Amazon pauses construction and on second headquarters in Virginia as it cuts jobs. So this could be part of the downsizing. The delay affects the three office towers Helix Conference Center. Move concedes with biggest job cuts ever. Remote work is a reality. So it looks like this is more than just a permitting. This is cost cutting. So this is very interesting. They were supposed to spend $2.5 billion and hire 25,000 workers, but the construction moratorium will delay the online retailer's full arrival at its biggest real estate project and could create headaches for local developers as well as construction and service workers banking on Amazon's rapid expansion. So this looks like it is not just a permit or a truck not arriving on time. This is part of serious downsizing. That's very interesting. That is very interesting indeed. So there you go, breaking news. That kind of covers everything I was going to talk about. Like I said, I'm heading into work a little bit late today. I will be going up to Bear Lake, so if anyone's in Bear Lake, I'll probably end up at Cody's. If you guys see me, say hi. I really like Bear Lake, really like Cody's. I'm also, actually, this is kind of a side note. I've talked before about the fact that I own property up in Bear Lake and that I'm looking to develop it for an Airbnb. I am going to be talking to someone about modular construction. I have struggled for almost 2 years now. I bought the property in July of 2021. By the time everything closed, it was like August of 21. But I did buy property up there, 0.8 acres, to build a rental property up there. I have struggled to find a contractor that will build, and every quote that I came in was above $500,000 for a tiny, dinky little shack. Essentially, it didn't really matter what the square footage was. The minimum requirements were so high that I could build a 800 square foot shack and end up paying $400,000 to $450,000 minimum. So it almost made sense that I had to build around $2,400. It really did not change the price point. And they were all quoting me at starting at $550, and with $550 it was all unfinished basements. So we're talking just stripped down basements, and I'd have to worry about finishing that myself, only a top floor. And if they were finished, I was going to be looking closer to $6, but they couldn't lock in pricing because at the time inflation was going crazy high, still is, but lumber prices have come down, supply chains have kind of stabilized. So despite inflation, it's not as bad as it was a year and a half ago. Well, even to this day, I still cannot find a contractor to build up there for a quality price. So I'm currently in talks with a modular home construction company. Modular construction is pretty much just prefabbed. They're going to come, drop it onto your property, and usually it's either on a concrete pad or a small foundation that's really built for a crawl space. And they're saying they can get me in at $350 or less for up to 2,000 square feet. I'm going to be looking at it. I know modular has a stigma. I'm not a huge fan of it myself. Obviously, everyone wants a fully furnished custom home, but sometimes beggars can't be choosers. And so I'm going to be going and looking at that potentially this weekend, if I can coordinate with the people that are up there and potentially building a property up there for rental income. So we'll see. I'll keep you guys posted on that. I hope you guys have a great day. I hope you set amazing goals. I hope you meet those goals. And I will see you guys Monday morning. Take care.